Started was I was teaching my son history, and I have done my graduation in economics. So we used to, in those days, we used to have a paper in Indian economics. And we used to study about all the stages through which India has gone as an economy. I studied that and forgotten also quite a bit of it. But when I was teaching him, there's a chapter in their ninth grade which is about the art forms of India, with focus on agriculture and weaving, handlooms. So the reason why British came to India was actually the riches of India, but the biggest impact was on agriculture as well as the handicraft of India. That is what I was teaching him, and I realized that was one area one could work in, and I was interested. So the idea remained with me for some time, and then when I decided to change the course of my career and do something different from HR, this was one area I thought of focusing on. We go to the clusters, and there we identify the weavers who we are going to be working with. Now we explain the concept to them. The concept is that you have to give us the goods. We will do a photo shoot, and then we will display the goods on the website. And when it gets sold, then we share the sales proceed with the weaver. So that is how it differs. The other part of it is we tell the weavers that since we have a design center, so our system is based on, there are three pillars which we use: technology, which is our technology platform; the design center where we do the designs; and then we have the communication. So I'll concentrate on the design center. So the weaver has got skills to produce certain kind of goods, so they have certain designs they produce. What we say is that our brand name, which is called Vinusto, it means to beautify. So what we say is that we beautify the designs for you and we'll make them marketable to the consumers. So in the cluster development plan part, we explain all these things to the weavers, and that is the most difficult part of the business, because they have been working on a wholesale model. When they sell to the states in the community, to different companies, they sell on wholesale basis. So the fact that they have to give the goods to us, and the goods will get sold and they will share profit, trusting that entire idea is the most difficult part of it. So we build that trust, we engage extensively. It takes a long time. That is the one which takes the longest. And then once the weaver is convinced, he gives us the goods. We work on a zero inventory model. We don't keep the goods. We say the only condition is that whenever there is an order, you need to send the goods to us. So, we once the weaver sends, so we do the photo shoot, we display the goods, and then once it gets sold, we share the profits with them. That is how it works. See, personally, from family front, it was not really very tough. I've been a working professional for a long time. So, and this is work, it is continuation of work. What was challenging was that I don't come, I'm a HR professional, okay, and I am not from the fashion industry. I came with a belief of doing, making an impact, doing something about a social cause. And the challenge was that, everything was new for me. Okay, so starting from the GST number to, how the packaging will happen, which is the cluster we are going to go to. There are several clusters in India. Across India, there are, several clusters which exist. So which cluster to identify? I think the only skill I came with was problem solving and solutioning. And the other skill was, since I have been in the field of HR, at least I understand people to some extent. You can't understand the individual 100%, but I understand people to some extent. So so the entire thought was a challenge, and I think that is what it drove me to the entire to create the enterprise. It started with so if I cite the challenge, first challenge was to convince the weaver that they need to trust us, and building that trust was the biggest challenge. Second challenge was that you have to set up a website. So how will that work? Because while I come from the IT industry, but I'm a user of the technology. I'm not a creator of technology. So gathering a team which will help us in creating platform. What are the what should be the base, which platform to use? So that is all new for me. And then fashion, while I'm a consumer myself, because we cater to my kind of consumer only, so I understand the consumer. But how will the entire design center work? So those things were all challenges. Everything was a challenge, if you ask me. So what we say is that if you're looking for pure authentic handloom products, then Vinusto is a brand. And how we differ is that, like I said, that a handloom is a handloom on our website. So, and we are very transparent in our communication. So we say that a consumer can read about the entire product. The entire product description talks about the handloom, whatever we have used in the product. So so authenticity is a big differentiator, and the other differentiator is the social cause. Now while a lot of companies are working with weavers, but and we say that we are contributing to the weavers community. But in case of Vinusto, we contribute through the sales proceed, which means that if the share sales proceed is higher, then the weaver gets a higher remuneration. It basically addresses one of our commitments when we started this business, when we say that the skilled person, the SME, subject matter expert, should be getting the benefit. So that is where we, so from the from business model perspective, we that is how we differ, that we do profit sharing. And from the consumer perspective, if one is looking for authentic handloom designer wear, then we are the brand. And this has evolved as we get the customer feedback, because authenticity is something which requires a proof of concept. And when the customer reverts saying that yes, this is authentic and it looks authentic, and we also educate by saying that little bit of, I would say that is one area we need to work on. We educate also about which one is a handloom, which one is not. When we say that we are making handlooms, what are the yarns which are being used? So no synthetic yarn is used. So we are into sustainable organic yarns, etc., which are being used to create the material which we use for our designs. Because we are not only in the the saris and the stoles and the fabric segment, we are also into designer wear. So that is what we commit to the consumer. Actually, three critical areas we need to look at. One is that we need to expand beyond the India market, and we are looking at the global market. The second is that we need to expand further into different clusters, which is we are right now into 4 clusters, but we need to go beyond the 4 clusters. And third area is that while we have been able to get weavers into our fold in this participatory form, but we need to and we have tried to work on the education part of it, that is making them more tech savvy, etc. We are right now a centralized company, in the sense that all the products come to our offices and then they get distributed. So we intend to decentralize this. We plan to create hubs in the clusters, so that the group which is working with us can directly ship the products to the consumer, especially the finished products part of it, not the garments, because garments obviously get done here. So that is decentralization of the entire model. Then we are also planning to create an app which we'll get on an app, so that we have better reach and better connect with the consumer. um, yeah, and we are on 2 platforms right now. We are on 2 platforms. So we are doing our display. We intend to go on another platform, so that we have better reach. Because online reaching, so creating a product is easy. Getting the consumer to like that product is difficult. Then it is much more difficult to have more and more consumer buying the product. So the most difficult part of of the business is to ensure that you have a large consumer base. So one of the strategies is not only to sell through our platform, but also to do the display on other platforms. We already are on Ogan Market. We are going to do. We are going to. Our display will start on another platform shortly, another week or so. And there's another. And we are going to specific platforms to reach out to consumers who are fond of handloom. Because our consumer base differs a little bit. We are not into fast fashion. We are into sustainable. We are into handlooms, designer wear. So obviously, we're trying to reach as many consumers as possible. Because unless we get the right number of consumers, the social impact will continue to remain limited. So that is the thought. Those are the plans. One, engagement has to be continuous. Second, your personal credibility is the most important thing in convincing somebody that you're doing something different from everybody else. My method, I will not say mantra, but my method has been that if I have given a commitment, I stand by that commitment 100%. And I say that I'm honest and I remain honest. So whether it is good news or bad news, I do not mince words. I share it directly. And I think what has generally worked all through my life is that I do believe in the goodness of mankind. Okay, and I continue to. While there have been situations wherein I've had setbacks, but I've always believed in goodness of mankind. So if you consider the other person is a good person with good intentions, generally you give positive vibes. And now this I'm talking about behavior. You give positive vibes to the other person. If you had told me these are the questions, I would have maybe thought through properly. But typically, how it comes is that other people are human beings, so you have to treat human beings as human beings instead of considering कि ये weaver है या if this person is a educated and uneducated. Doesn't matter. The other person is a human being. If you believe in God, let's say human being created by God, so you have to respect that. So, and see, I do come with these values from my parents who were academicians. They were both professors of electronics and educated people. They always taught me honesty, kindness, respect. Those are important things. Then I worked with Wipro for 12 years, and that is what I have learned. And since I'm in HR, I'm supposed to uphold all the values: respect and dignity, honesty and integrity. They were two most important values which we worked through and through. And I generally, I always follow it. So disrespect is something which. So I think what has worked with me with the Weavers group is that. I think and I believe that somewhere I don't differentiate at all. I don't think we can. It doesn't come naturally to me. So I think that is how I've been able to build the trust. Because, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't happen in 1 month. It happened over a period of 6 months. And to give the credit to the person who started it, the first person is a youngster who is a weaver himself. And he took a big risk of deciding to give us the stock and start the business with him. So I give the credit to him as well. That he also thought through. So he I think he's an evolved person. He's, I think, 10th pass. Okay, but just look at the thinking. He believed that technology can work. He believed in the fact that if he keeps stuff in our company, we will take care of it and will not cheat him. And he also believed that this can be a shop which he can use, because he sells to other states and he sells to other companies, but he believed that a profit sharing model can work. So I give credit to him as well. It's not only me. And recently we went to the cluster to do some stories, etc. So there he told me that he faced a lot of resistance. I'm talking about one individual. He initially started. Obviously now we have a group, but he thought of the possibilities which are there in future. And actually, when the COVID happened, 2 phases of COVID, the business continued for him because it was online. So I think when he punted on this, he did not. anticipate the possibility of a lockdown, but obviously lockdown indicated to him that technology, online selling is more viable as an option, and obviously he gets a better, better financial benefit from us, because when so since it is based on the fact that you should do right pricing, so obviously we do right pricing, we obviously consult him, we also educate him how to do the pricing, etc. When he gets the right share, so we say that our model is based on fair trade, which means that you give the fair share of proceeds to the weaver. So obviously he benefits from it. So, so trust building has been, I think, at my end through these couple of things I told you about. And trust building has also happened from the fact that we also got the right individual who had the foresight to see what are the possibilities.